Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Toppenberg. Welcome to my channel. I've been restoring a Bridgeport mill. It is just about sundown, late October. I hope those colors come through. It's just been a gorgeous day today. All right, the last episode I had said we were going to work on the oiler this time, but as I was going through my footage, I found a bunch of stuff of painting the door. I think it looks really good. So we're going to work on that today, and we'll get to the oiler next time, hopefully. So I think we got a good show, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up and some comments, and hope you enjoy. Just looked online, and I cannot find a proper name for this. It's the part that the head attaches to, so I'm going to call it the neck. And it attaches right here with a pin through. I have cleaned up these surfaces. Oh, I need to clean that up better. I'll hit that with some sandpaper, and then I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to pre-lubricate with this with just a little bit of whey oil. Stuff reminds me of pizza oil. All right, let's see if I can get it in. This is the pin. It's got a collar with a set screw. I don't know if that'll show up. But on this end, it's got a pin here. And I see actually on this side that there is a hole for the pin. Let me see if I can show that. You see right there, there's a little pin. Does not go all the way through. Let me just make sure that that fits before I'm wrestling with that neck. Oh, I also see that that's got paint on the inside there. Let me get a... Beautiful. I think that's gonna work good. Let's see, this is gonna go in first, so these are gonna be out here like this. So that's the proper way, because at that point, the numbers are right way up. Okay, am I able to lift this and slide in the pin? That is gonna be the question. When it went through, this little pin popped out on the wrong side. So I need to get that rotated like that. And make sure that this is working. Yeah. Okay, so let's get this collar on. And it's got the pins for, I don't know if you call that a spanner wrench or what kind of a pin wrench, I don't know. So by my understanding, the purpose of this nut is to just keep the pin in. It is not to hold this. So I'm gonna tighten that just a little bit, but not real super tight. I have this wrench. I think I got it on eBay, or I'm sorry, Amazon. It says Famcon 117B. And it's still, it's already spaced from when I took it off. This side is threaded. This side here is not. So this side just slides in, and then it goes through the neck. So it's starting to thread already. I'm not sure why. Apparently it's got a long path of the thread. And I'll have to tram in the head at the very end. Okay. Now I have 4 more bolts that go through the head. You know, the interface here slide out and then come around, and that'll be at the end. There is a gear that needs to go in here, and I guess we can go ahead and put that on. Okay, all 4 of these holes are threaded for a 1/4 Allen bolt. And I noticed that one of these was shorter than the other. And I'm going to take that one out, and I'm going to replace it with 3 equal length socket heads. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, so these 2 apparently have a shallow hole because they are not tightening up. So let's get some shorter ones. All right, that's tightening up. That tightens up, so let's then replace this last one. Okay, that tightens up nicely. And that will let the head turn this way. All right. Okay, so these are my bolts that hold the head on. They go like this. I don't know if you can hear that thunder. They go like that, and then around, and then it bolts on. And the problem is that when it came, it had 2 of these kind of nuts and 2 of those kind of nuts, and I think it's supposed to have all 4. So I ordered some hex stock, and that's 3/4 inch from flat to flat, and I'm going to make some new nuts. Okay, so this nut. This nut is 1.47, so I'm going to call it 1.5 inches. This thread is 1/2 inch 13. The tap drill size for a 1/2 inch 13 is 27/64, which is this bit here. 420 thousandths, which that gives 422. And the length of the threads here is about 600,000, but this hole in this nut is 1.36 deep. So I'm just going to copy this nut over on the lathe. All right, let's try to tap this. See, let's get some tap magic. The way this cut, I think it's a pretty mild steel. Keep tightening up that tailstock so that the back end of this tap is supported and I'm going in straight. It seems like I should be able to do a power feed on this, but I've broken some taps in my life and they are no fun. Ruins everyone's day. It's going in pretty easily though. Probably could. I ended up making my hole 1 5/16 inches deep because that's what I could measure on this, the scale on the end of this tailstock. No, I was not in all the way. The threads on the end of that bolt were only 1/2 inch long, so I don't really have to have the full depth. Almost at 2 inches right here. Yeah, there's 2 inches right there. I think that's going to be good. All right, let's see how that does with the bolt. Goes all the way in. That's very nice. I like it. Okay, I'm going to set up here to cut this off. I want the nut to be 1.5 inches long. So I put my indicator on here, and I do not have a scale on my, I think this is the Z-axis. So what I'm done here is I'm going to line up to that, which is right in, that has the left-hand cutting edge of the cutoff face with the flush with the face. It's 125 thick, so I'm going to go back 110, 25. So now the right side of the cutting will be flush with that. I'm going to reset this. This thing seems to have only a 1 inch travel. So I'm going to set that to be 0. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that will be 1 inch. And this doesn't have to be super critical on the length. That's 1 inch. So now I'm going to reset this. And I'll zero that out. 4, 5 right there. All right, let's cut this off. I don't like cutting things off. It always scares me. I got it in low gear, although the fastest of the low gears, or the back gear rather. Let's see what we can do. And I'm running this by hand. I'm not having the automatic feed. Why isn't it cutting? I think it's actually a little high. There, it's cutting. Just a little bit low. Little nib there. Okay, I'm now I've got this flipped around, and I'm gonna try to shape the end of this so it's just kind of rounded off. I'm gonna start out with a 45-degree angle here. I just got these inserts for this holder, and I don't think I got quite the right ones. This is a clamp down, and the inserts are pretty thin, and they were designed for a screw through, and I thought it was going to work, but I'm getting just a little bit of chatter on them. Get a file. All right, let's clean it up and take a look. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are. There's the original. There's the copy. It looks good. I'm gonna make 3 more. Okay, here's my 2 old nuts. Here's the new one I made. Number 4. On the side of the Bridgeport, there's an opening, and you can use that inner part as some storage, and there's a door. And here is the door, and I'm cleaning it up. It's made out of aluminum. I've already done a first pass. I used my wire wheel over there, just took all the grease off, and then I came back with this wire wheel, and I've taken off all the paint on the back, and just showing my progress so far. Okay, I think I'm done cleaning this up. I wasn't able to get in the corners, so then I came and tried with this sandpaper wheel, flap wheel, on a Dremel, and that still wasn't able to get much of it. So then I put some acetone on there and went after it with this little pick, and went in all the little letters, and I think I've got it nice and clean now. Okay, let's see if I can put some white highlight on this without having it look terrible. All right, that's the end of the first pass. I don't have a very steady hand, so there's lots of little mistakes. I'm gonna need to come back with some black. And also you can see some places where I accidentally put my hand on it and kind of messed up the finish. So I don't know, we'll see how it's all gonna work out. I've got this taped off. I'm gonna try to put some of that steel gray as a border. See how that looks. I've gotten my masking tape off. It left a little bit of irregularity. I'm gonna try to come back and touch that up, and then I need some touch up on the letters, like there. So I'm gonna work on that for a little bit. It's looking better. There's gonna be a couple places I'm gonna come back and touch up with some white, but every time it gets just a little bit better. I think it looks nice. On this doorknob, there's actually two spacers that go in there, and that width plus the width of this is enough to match the gap of that, because when I put it in, it tightens. I think it looks good. I think it matches that upper Bridgeport nicely. I like. Inside this compartment, it just goes down to the bottom. And although I would love to use all that storage space down there, I don't have a good idea how to do that right now. This is what was in there before. This fits in there, and you gotta really fiddle with it to get it just right. But it's this kind of fiberboard. It's old, it's warping. So I want to tune this up a little bit, and I think I'm going to cut some sheet metal out. Now the sheet metal is fairly thin because I don't have ability to cut out real thick here, but I'm going to try to cut out maybe 2 layers of that and stack them maybe above and below it, and I'm going to use that as a template. Okay, I've got these 3 pieces. This is galvanized, I guess I don't know if to call it tin, but I think it's steel. It's, let me measure it. It's 35 thousandths, which is 0.85 mil. And these things are kind of finicky to get in there. I think I'm gonna have to do all 3 at the same time. Let's see how this works. And I'm gonna put metal on the bottom and metal on the top. Well, that's in there. It ends up being bouncy. Part of me wants to put bolts in and bolt it all together, but because I had to put them down one at a time, I'm not sure if I can get it in here with it if it's bolted together. I'm gonna leave it like that for now, and we can work on it later if we want. Okay, I'm putting a sheet metal screw in there, and I'm gonna see if I can do this without blocking the view. Yeah, that's a lot better. As I was drilling those holes inside the column, the top piece I noticed had shifted over to the right so that these weren't vertical. And I also wasn't able to get them nice and tight. The screw hole I was doing was the same diameter in the top and the bottom. And that meant the threads were catching on both the top and the bottom, and so there wasn't any drawing force to pinch it shut. So I was able to pull it out as one piece. I've made the upper hole bigger so that the threads will slip, and so it's only catching on the bottom, and that way it pulls it up. And I was also able to get a lot more screws in, and then I ground off the tips. So let's get it back in there. I think that'll be nice and sturdy. And there, using just the right magic sequence of down and up and up and around, I was able to get that in there. I think that looks good. Okay, I'm gonna cut it off there. I really like how the mill is coming together. I think it looks good. Hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up, comments, and come back next time. Thanks. Peace out.